first place. Comrades was, of course, Comrades, and it would not have been the same without the famous 12-hour cut-off gun, traditionally fired by the chairman, in this case, Dave Dixon. The smiles of the last few runners home attested to their intense relief, while those close to the cut-off made a last desperate dash for the line. The country watched enthralled on television as the final finishers fell across the line, and millions shared the pain of those who did not make it. Every year it's the same, one of the grand traditions of a great race. The last man home looked bewildered as his name was taken for a special award, while those who did not make it took the longest walk in South African road running down the finishing straight. A few opted not to cross the line, while most wandered along the Kingsmead grass in a daze. But a look into these people's minds would surely reveal that they, even now, were deciding to come back next year to train harder and race smarter. Surely, one day they will also have their day in the Comrades' sun. Filled with passion and skill, success and failure, happiness, elation, deep disappointment, and every emotion in between. The Comrades remain true to its calling as the opportunity for the average person to achieve something extraordinary, and for ordinary South Africans to join the most exclusive club in the country, a Comrades Marathon finisher. There were the elite runners chasing gold medals, and amongst them the winners, Alessia Nagalieva and Leonard Svetsov. There were people from all walks of life, and there were the celebrities, Sharky, Kula, Cabello, Tabisa Sekwani and Richard Whitehead out there, doing it all for charity and for their own souls. Fordyce and Rob were running, so were the previous heroes like Ray Bischoff, Boycie van Staden and Colin Quirson. Dave Rogers ran his 42nd Comrades and made history. Thousands of people lined the roads and worked as volunteers. They too are heroes. In all South African sport there is nothing quite like it, which is why it will stay South Africa's most loved and admired sporting event.
The first up run from Durban to Pietermaritzburg was held on Wednesday the 24th of May. 89 runners started the race, but it was Arthur Newton who had his name engraved on the magnificent floating trophy, presented that year by the 3 turf clubs of Natal. This was the first of 2 up wins for Newton. In 1930, 55 runners started the uprace. Amongst all the newcomers to the race was the Johannesburg Wanderers runner Wally Hayward, wearing number 2. He was the current 10-mile track champion, and at the age of 21 had surprised the pundits by entering for such a long distance. Hayward had reached Drummond in 3 hours 20 minutes, but tired visibly towards the end. Despite cramps and walking up the hills, he reached the finish line just 37 seconds ahead of Phil Masterton-Smith. Hayward was rewarded with a grandfather clock, and this was the last year that sections of the road were still untarred.
Het leek mij die enigste gebied waarop die dames niet presteer nie was langafstand wedrennen. Maar hierdie kerel was een bekende naam in 1933. Marathonhardloper Hardy Bellington. Hier was hij bezig om een nieuwe record op te stellen voor die Pietermaritzburg-Durban wedren. 54 mijl in 6 uur en 50 minuten. Vannacht, als de mensen in aanmerking nemen hoe stofferig en ongelijk die paaien destijds was. Hardy Bellington, een voorloper tot vandagse groot marathonname.
Durban, where it's an early start for those competing in the 43rd Comrades Marathon, which this year has attracted a record entry of 650 runners. Jackie Meckler, number 9, is amongst the early leaders. The 36-year-old Springbok, who has won 4 times, is moving well. Keeping a good pace is last year's winner, Mani Kun. Also well up among the leaders is Bernard Gomersall of Leeds, who won in 1965. Thirsty work, all right, and everybody is dearly in need of a drink, for the uphill battle lies ahead on the way to Pietermaritzburg, 55 miles away. Jackie Meckler has overtaken the field, with Mani Kun lying second and Baker third. Jackie Meckler's first into the arena and joins Wally Hayward, Hardy Bellington and Arthur Newton as one of the immortals of the mighty Comrades Marathon by winning this grueling race for the 5th time. Well done, Jackie. You deserve a breather.
Water, sweeter, much sweeter than wine.
Een groot skare om die wenner in die Jan Smit Stadion in Pietermaritzburg te verwelkomen.
The winner is Alan Robb for the 2nd year running, a time of 5 hours 47 minutes, almost 10 minutes ahead of his nearest rival.
Steve Atkins komt tweede in een rapsie onder 6 uur.
The rest of the field have 5 hours left to make the finishing line in time to join the highly exclusive group. This is the spirit of the Comrades. Aching bones, blistered and torn feet are forgotten in the pride of achievement.